Welcome to Q&A Thursday. I am your coach, Tandar. Today's topic is how to overcome judgment. Let's begin. Every time I make a mistake or say something that I'm not too sure of, I feel like crap the next minute. I punish and question my own judgment. How can I break this cycle? Thanks, coach. That's quite the valid question. Thank you so much for writing that in. You got to keep in mind that when you're actually questioning your own judgment and doubting your own decisions, you're not just doing that to yourself, you're actually going to end up doing it to everyone else who's involved in your life, whether they're coworkers, family members, friends, or loved ones. So this cycle definitely needs to stop, and I have the perfect tips for you to help you do so. Number one. Self-love. I've said this many times before, and I'm going to say it again. Self-love is the key to overcome self-judgment, self-punishment, doubt, feeling guilty, feeling shame, and blaming yourself. And when I talk about self-love, I'm not talking about you going to the spa or just getting a facial or going shopping or doing something nice for yourself that way. Those are great things to do. But what I'm talking about self-love is that when it comes to moments like these, that you're judging yourself or you're doubting your own decisions, is to think about, what would I say to my best friend? What would I say to a loved one? How would I tell them to treat themselves? Would I tell them to go and doubt and blaming and shaming themselves? Or I would be kind and gentle with them and say, don't worry about it. You probably made the best decision at the time. Or say, even if you made a mistake, that's okay. You learn from your mistakes, so let it go. This is okay. You'll learn from that mistake. And just release it right there and then and not carry it forward to your future moments. So you got to keep that in mind. When you're going into those moments, talk to yourself as if you would talk to someone you truly love. And that brings us to number two. Raise your awareness, will ya? By raising your awareness, you keep yourself in the present moment. When you're in the present moment, you don't go thinking, what's going to happen in my future as a result of what I said or the mistake that I just made. Or drop into your past, bringing in forward all those negative emotions that were attached to such mistakes, and repeat them over and over again. You can change all that by raising your awareness, staying present. So you got to think ahead of time. Write down a list of all the things you can do to help you stay in your present moment. If you're talking to people, stay focused. Don't go playing on your phone. Don't try to make a grocery list in your head. Don't try to think, oh my God, when I get home, I got to do this and this and that. What you want to do is stay focused, stay present, stay aware of your surroundings. So if these mistakes do happen, and they do happen because we're humans and we're not perfect, next time they come around, you are aware of what's happening and you can stop it before it happens again. And you can stop yourself from self-punishment and dropping into these past emotions of, I did this again, I can't believe I did it again, my God. You're going to stop all that and stay in your present moment and say, I made a mistake. Here's what it was. I want to make sure I don't repeat it again. Or, that's okay, people make mistakes, it wasn't a big deal. I'll do better next time. And believe me, as a result of that, your mistakes will be fewer and fewer and fewer by staying present and focused. So let's get to number three. Action is key. We can sit down and write all the lists in the world of what to do, how to stay present, how to keep ourselves on the path, how to keep in track of what we're doing, what we're not doing. These are the things I gotta do to keep present. I have to be aware of this emotion, that awareness. You can do all of that. But if you do not take action, none of these matter. You gotta take action so it becomes part of you. It becomes second nature to you. It's great that you're taking the action of writing the list, but when the moment comes that where the real issue is taking place and you're going into self-judgment, if you don't take the action then it's just a waste of your time. So make sure you definitely deliver on all those action steps, on all the lists you write. And once you take any action, give yourself the reward because you definitely deserve it. Finally, after all that, let's get to our last coaching tip. Number 4, turn it into second nature. As I mentioned in tip number 3, you got to repeat these actions so it turns into second nature. I'm not talking about doing it once or twice and thinking, well, I tried it a couple of times and it didn't work. You got to try it so many times so that muscle becomes strong again and takes over that muscle that you've been overusing by going over into self-judgment, self-punishment, doubt, and shame. What I'm talking about is taking action over and over and over again till it becomes part of you and you don't need to think about it anymore. You'll become quite aware of it, that after you repeat these actions, those mistakes do not happen again. You can focus on other things that you'd like to improve on, but I promise you, those mistakes will not be constantly repeating themselves. I hope these coaching tips will serve you. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. Not only have amazing news coming up really soon, you can find more coaching tips similar to these ones on my website at tandartanavoli.com. I can't wait to see you next week. Until then, keep happy and healthy.